but I still enjoy going to the racetrack. I enjoy winning. So I know I got a handful of years at least left in me. And I think depends also just how life is. But if I can't compete for wins, that's probably going to be the sign for me to say, I'm not going to just go to make laps and go around in circles. Like, I enjoy racing, don't get me wrong, but I do it to win. I don't do it for fun. I don't do it to race. I do it to win. And so I'm still competitive. I still can win races. I'm going to continue doing it.
Welcome to HairPod, the podcast where we get to hear real people talk about their hair journeys. I'm your host, Kevin Ralston, and each week I get to interview people from different walks of life whose lives have been touched by hair loss in some form or fashion. Many of our guests have experienced hair loss themselves and found a way to get their confidence and their hair back. If you're a NASCAR fan or a HairPod fan, you already know the name Joey Logano. Joey is a NASCAR champion who isn't afraid to tell his hair story. He's been on the podcast a couple times already to talk in depth about his journey with an autoimmune condition called alopecia areata. In alopecia areata, the immune system mistakes a person's own hair follicles as a threat and attacks them, causing hair loss that happens in round patches. If you look at Joey now, you'd never know that he has this condition. He's got what appears to be a full head of hair, whether he's in front of the press, smiling for a photo op, or just getting out of his stock car. I'm glad we got to talk to Joey again because I wanted to find out what it's like having a hair loss condition and living that fast-paced lifestyle of a NASCAR champ. Here we are again with Joey Logano to talk about NASCAR and hair. What an interesting combination and how we weave these two things together. What's going on, Joey?
I see what you did there. It's going well. How you doing?
Doing good, my man. I've got on a temporary face tattoo right now. Other than that, I'm doing fantastic. So,
well, I tell you what, everybody knows the name of your show. It's written all over you. So
it's all over my face. It's in henna. And you thought that maybe I lost a bet. And I wanted to ask you, being in the world of NASCAR, do you guys ever get into silly, stupid bets with one another that you have to pay off on the track?
No.
Good. You're smart. You're smarter than I am.
Yeah, I really don't want to look like that. So.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah.
No, we don't. Honestly, it's funny. The drivers themselves. I mean, we all know each other and are around each other a lot, but I wouldn't say as many of them that really hang out and do a whole bunch of things together or funny jokes like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious when it comes to relationships on the tour. Would you say, are there certain cliques and are people more friends or enemies? Because I've seen so many races where guys are duking it out right after they get out of their cars, and sometimes they have to stop to duke it out. So I think I've seen maybe more fights than I've seen pat on the backs. What is the relationships like in NASCAR?
Well, I mean, I think it's competition, and the people you hang out with the most at the racetrack is going to be your team, right? And your teammates and the people that you're around. So, your competitors, it's different than other sports because other sports, you have a team of, I don't know, 10 to 15 to 30 people right on each side, depending on what sport you're playing. And they play each other. And then maybe in 4 months, they might play each other again.
Right.
But you have a long period of time in between. And if there is a beef, you kind of forget about it a little bit. You kind of move on to the next thing. But for us, it's the same 36 drivers you see every single week.
Right.
Yeah. And eventually you're going to have something happen. And guess what? You're going to see them again next week and the next week and the next week. And it just doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. So it's just a very unique sport for that reason.
As a driver, do you know some of those interpersonal struggles and realize maybe I need to stay away from these two if they get together on the track because tempers might flare up? They might spin somebody out. That might affect how I drive. So do you need to know and almost psychoanalyze the other drivers that are on the track with you?
Well, it's always important to know what situation people are in. Whether in a do or die situation. Yeah, if they're trying to get into the playoffs. I just went through one of these scenarios. Whether they're trying to get in or if they have a history with someone else and there's two are racing right in front of you, the last thing you want to do is get caught up and, their mess, right? And so you try to stay aware of the situations the best as possible, but sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it, right? Like you're just there, and you happen to be racing for the win, and here you are, right? Like it just is what it is.
Right. Now, is it something where you find a weakness of another driver and you'll often have a nickname for them? Are people like some sports, in football especially, they'll be ribbing each other and they'll be in each other's head and they know that something gets under somebody's skin. Does that happen in NASCAR with drivers? Is it to that level?
I don't see it to that level. I think what the difference is I think in other sports, whether it's basketball or football, the adrenaline is at its peak, right after a play, right? And you're kind of feeling one way or the other, right? Whether it's good or bad. And you're going to jaw to each other immediately, right? Like in the heat of the battle. For us, the time we see each other is 20, 30 minutes before the race at driver intros. And then you're strapped into a race car after that. So if someone makes a move on you, or you're mad at them, or you want to, talk a little game, you can't. You're stuck in a race car.
Yeah, right.
So afterwards, sometimes drivers get out and express their feelings a little bit, but really outside of that, there's just not a whole bunch.
If you watch a lot of professional sports, or even if you just played football in college, it's pretty typical to see athletes have a little bit of fun at each other's expense, or even go one step further and try to get into a competitor's head by calling out their weaknesses. That kind of exchange happens outside of pro sports too. Many people who go through hair loss don't feel confident about it, and the last thing they want is for someone to bring it up and make some kind of snide comment. They may want a solution, but not one that calls attention to the problem itself, kind of like the toupees you used to see guys wear decades ago. Joey's pretty public about his hair loss and has never really tried to hide the fact that he uses a hair system, so I want to know if the other drivers ever remarked on his hair loss in a negative way.
I'm just kind of curious, in your field, how has you being a client of HairClub been accepted? What do other drivers say? Do they use it as a thing to rib you with, or do you feel like it's starting to hit that nice level of acceptance throughout even NASCAR?
Yeah, I'd say it's the complete opposite, actually. I had a lot of them reach out to me, and for whatever reason, there's a lot of race car drivers that suffer from hair loss for whatever reasons. I don't know if it's helmets or heat or I don't know, Lord knows. But I had a lot reach out to me saying, what did you do? Can I do? Like, who'd you call? What do I do? Right. And so as far as, the drivers, no, they don't do that type of stuff. And to me, that's probably below the belt a little bit. So it'd probably be a good thing if they didn't do that. Right. It's one thing to talk about someone's driving skills or something like that, but I don't think anyone ever, talks about those type of things. Race fans are different. Race fans are going to be race fans, right? The ones that love you are going to love it. The ones that already don't like you probably are going to like you more. Like it's just life. That's fine. But the other side of it, it's nobody really says anything.
I remember as a kid, you always knew when somebody had a toupee or hair help. And now today, when I'm at HairClub and I see people that might be there, or I see people that are HairClub clients, people like yourself, I'm always so blown away because I never have any idea. So you work closely with the pit crew. You've got your whole team. Is everybody aware of what you do? What would you say is the awareness level of what you do with HairClub? Do they just know you go to HairClub, or how does that sit with the people that are closest to you?
Well, they know I go to HairClub. Obviously, look at I'm talking to you. I'm wearing a shirt,
Yeah.
right? Like,
do they
I don't
ask
hide
you?
it.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
I get a lot of questions about it, but honestly, dude, I live my life like it's pretty normal. Like at this point, I've had my hair for a couple of years. It's been very easy, and I got the routine figured out, and I live my life like anybody else. And I'm glad I did something about it. Right? I suffered from alopecia. So I decided that I wanted to do something. Found HairClub, saw that they have multiple solutions. I found the one that was right for me, and I did something. And I hope everybody, if you have the opportunity to, why wouldn't you these days, right? Like if there's a technology there to, make your appearance look better and you can do it, what's stopping you? Don't let someone's stupid comment, stop you from bettering yourself, right? And if you could feel like you can do that, then go for it. And honestly, I've never really had any backlash that bothered me, at least. You're going to get some jokes here and there. Honestly, I joke with them. Most of the time, I throw the jokes out before they do.
That's it. That's it. There you go.
The thing, like, I'm very open about it. Not everybody is as open or wants to talk about it, but I really, I understand what I have, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? Whether it's alopecia or just normal male pattern baldness, like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, it's not your fault. There's nothing you can do about, your genes, right? Like, it's what you're born with. And you know what? So I did something about it. Kiss my butt. I think it's a great move.
Well, I think the improvement in the technology is one of the biggest reasons, because how do you get on somebody that has a head of hair that looks 100% completely natural? I don't even know where the joke is in something like that. And that's really it. When I see the hair solutions that are out there now, you really have no idea. And if somebody brings it up, it's like, what are you going to say? Because they look better with it. They don't look worse. So find the joke in this.
Yeah. And if it's the first time you met me, you would never know. Right. I mean, the people you can't tell.
No idea. Now, I'm curious because I'm sure people want to know about the durability. And I'm curious, too, because the temperatures that you have on the track in that car, you mentioned the helmet, which, I mean, those things are on pretty tight, I would imagine. I'd imagine getting them off, too. I know with football helmets, those things really grab. So do you have concerns with the hair that you have that anything is going to get messed up? It's going to become dislodged? Does the heat affect your hair? What are the concerns and conditions that you have?
No, I just honestly, I just had to figure out the right combination for me and the right routine. But outside of that, no, I have zero concerns when I go to the racetrack. I take the helmet off at the end of a race, jump in the pool, drive a jet ski at 70 mile an hour across the lake. Like,
okay, so you even go fast. You go fast on the lake too.
Well, I mean, I'm a race car driver. What do you think I do? What do you think I do? I don't go slow. I can tell you that much in many things.
Does it bother you if you ever get passed by another jet skier, or do you feel like you have to win even that race?
Yeah. Well, I don't think racing on the lake is probably the thing I should be promoting at the moment. So, but,
you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. We'll back off that one.
Most of the time, I like to go fast. Yeah.
There are hair loss solutions for everybody out there. No matter what kind of hair loss or lifestyle you have, the most important thing you can do is talk to professionals and find out what your options are. I wanted to find out how that process went for Joey, because not only is he a HairClub user, he also endorses the product. So when he went in for his consultation, he had to figure out if HairClub was something he could stand behind. So I asked him how long it took to go from his first consultation to ending up with a product that he was satisfied with.
Honestly, it's pretty quick. You can go to HairClub and they'll give you, whatever options they have available quickly. What they do a lot of times is they have a consultation. They bring you in. Okay, talk to you. What's your struggles, right? What's your history? And there's many, many fixes that they can present to you. So, like I said, what works for me may not be what works for you. But I think the ultimate, outcome, right? The goal is what? To have hair again. And it's different for everyone, right? Like, there's hair transplants. There's just things you can put on your hair. There's certain kinds of shampoo, right? I mean, there's different things you can use to try to, and the HairClub has all those things that allow you to do that all the way through. For me, with the alopecia stuff, I couldn't do a lot of the options because it can trigger it to be a lot worse.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? So it can kind of trigger a lot more underlying issues. So
HairClub can work. Yeah. They can work around those kind of specific problems.
Yeah, but it's different for everybody depending on what you're dealing with.
Now, did you have a consultant when you went into HairClub? Somebody that said, hey, here are the options and here's what I think would work for you?
Yeah. Which was one of the cool parts. Before I partnered with him as someone that's endorsing the product, I went there and said, hang on, I was very skeptical. I was like, if I'm going to endorse this is a pretty personal thing to be talking about. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure that one, this is going to work before I tell anybody about it. And two, that I can live my life with it. And it's not just a complete pain in my butt that I'm like, it's not worth it. Right. I want to make sure that I check those two boxes before I tell everyone, you should go do this. And I feel like once I got through that, I was like, all right, well, I feel comfortable talking to people about what's going on and what I did to fix it. And that, what, if you have a problem, go fix it, right? It's like that in anything in life, right? If you have an issue, fix it. And if there's an avenue to fix it, great. HairClub's got it for you, so you might as well do it.
What's it like styling your hair? Time now compared to time that it used to take before you had your system.
Well, it's a little longer now because I actually have hair.
Okay, yeah.
When you got no hair, it takes no time, right?
That's
But
true. Good point.
it doesn't take any longer than it did when I was a kid and I had hair. You know what I mean? Like it's the same, right? I mean, I get in the shower, I shampoo and condition just like anybody else would. Once a month, I get a haircut and I keep on going. Like it's pretty simple for me. And I got the system figured out at this point. Like it took me a few months to get to that point, but now that I got it figured out, it's cake.
The thing I find amazing about HairClub is that once you find HairClub and you find your solution is they grow with you, because as you age, you get older, they can start bringing the hair back. If you want to look like you have more of a natural hairline for your age, they can do that. If you're getting some of the gray, like I got some gray in the beard, but you know what? They put some gray in my system so that it looks a lot more natural. And so, once you find HairClub, it is something that you can ride out for the rest of your life and have the hair that you want.
Absolutely. Make adjustments however you want to make adjustments. I mean, it's literally, it's up to you, right? I mean, a lot of it I leave up to the stylist because I'm like, yeah, you're going to know a little bit more than me, I hope. And they do. But you can put your 2 cents and tell them what you want, tell them what's comfortable, what's not. I went through a couple things that I was like, I don't really like this that much, right? And we made an adjustment and changed out what we wanted.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got to tell you, Joey, I think you've got broadcasting hair. I think you have broadcasting abilities because I am in the field. How much longer before you're in the booth and not the track? Any thoughts on that?
Oh, man, I got no idea. I know I got some time. When I feel certain about it, then I know it's time. But I still enjoy going to the racetrack. I enjoy winning, so I know I got a handful of years at least left in me. And I think it depends also just how life is. But if I can't compete for wins, that's probably going to be the sign for me to say, I'm not going to just go to make laps. I'm going to go around in circles. Like, I enjoy racing, don't get me wrong, but I do it to win. I don't do it for fun. I don't do it to race. I do it to win. And so if I can't win, I'm not going to want to do it anymore. So I'm still competitive. I still can win races. I'm going to continue doing it.
Sounds like Joey's passion for competing and winning on the track hasn't slowed down one bit. We wish Joey a fantastic end to this year's racing season and can't wait to see what's next for him. I hope his drive for excellence inspires you to go out there to win at whatever you do. And as Joey said, if there's something about your appearance that you've been wanting to change, do it for yourself and don't worry what other people are going to think. The people who matter most are going to be supportive. And you may even find that the people around you are dealing with similar issues. Who knows? By opening yourself up to change, you could be helping them more than you know. For more inspirational stories and words of wisdom from people who have been through hair loss, make sure to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app. Thanks for listening to another episode of HairPod. Check us out at HairClub on Instagram or search HairPod on Facebook to continue the conversation. If you know someone who could benefit from hearing this episode, we would love it if you would share it with them. If you're enjoying the show, consider leaving us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app. We also have a website. Check it out by going to podcast.hairclub.com. We're here to build people up and share real stories so people experiencing hair loss feel a little bit less alone. And when you share, review, and subscribe, it helps us do just that. So thank you. Until next time.